Hi and welcome once again to the weekly ride in the rock and roll roller coaster of music, entertainment and celebrity style, available only on the weekend edition. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you, packed beyond belief with stars, so sit back, relax and put your feet up, because coming up on today's show, Kylie Minogue will be revealing some star secrets. The Jesus and Mary chain add a little noise to the proceedings. Get ready to scream on the set of the movie of the moment. I tracked down the Spice Girls in Manchester. And Pulp get a bit hardcore. What a stonker of a show we have for you, but that's all coming up later on. But the news that really overshadowed the week was George Michael's arrest in Los Angeles. There was shock in the music world when George was arrested early on Wednesday morning for alleged lewd conduct in a public toilet in a park in Los Angeles. George was charged and released on $500 bail to appear in court on May the 5th. He's believed to have now gone into hiding. George's manager has said that he has, quote, no comment to make on the incident, but Lieutenant Crane's in charge of the case made this statement.
On April 7th, 1998, at approximately 16:48 hours, that's 4:48 p.m., Beverly Hills police officers arrested the singer known as George Michaels. Mr. Michaels was arrested for a violation of 647A of the Penal Code, engaging in a lewd act.
Speaking of things a bit saucy, Pulp's new album, This Is Hardcore, seductively slipped into the charts this week at #1. Seems everybody's got sex on the brain. Anyway, we managed to catch up with Jarvis and Candida for an exclusive chat to get all the latest.
When Pulp released Help the Aged, a track concerning the plight of the elderly at the end of last year, many people were shocked that a band best known for writing upbeat tunes had gone all serious. Now this perception seems to have been confirmed with the release of their new album, This Is Hardcore.
This Is Hardcore implies it's more adult material, and maybe it's a bit more of an adult album. Sometimes it's talking about quite painful things, but I think if you're open and honest about those things, then you can deal with them. If you try and hide from them, then you're going to get in real bad trouble. And you will, I don't know where that leads to, but so it's been a useful album in that case, for us. Well, especially for me. Especially for you. In terms of coming to terms with certain things, you know. I always liked kind of easy listening music and stuff like that, because it uses interesting sounds and textures which you don't get in normal pop music. But then, of course, there was the horrible thing of there being a bit of an easy listening revival, like 2 years ago, whatever. Mike Flowers Pops, etc., and a couple of clubs in London, and kind of, it was really studenty and crap.
You're my Wonderwall.
It was quite interesting to take those kind of sounds, but put it with something that shouldn't really go with it, you know.
The departure last year of guitarist and violinist Russell Sr. came as a surprise. It's clear that his presence is still missed in the Pulp camp.
That's what I miss most about Russell, his personality.
Yeah, because he would always do quite ridiculous things, wouldn't he? It changes the relationships between people in the band and that, because Russell was the person who'd been in the band longest, besides myself. So, it did feel really weird at first.
Jarvis used to be seen at so many parties that it was joked that he'd turn up to the opening of an envelope. These days, he's a bit more selective.
By nature, I'm quite an accommodating person, wouldn't you say? I like to get on with people. But if you do that, if you just say yes to everybody, try to please everybody, then you will just end up being taken advantage of, really, won't you? Which is something that I had to kind of learn, really. I don't like confrontation in real life, you know, but, you know, sometimes you have to be prepared to confront people, because otherwise they'll just take the piss out of you. Which is obvious, really, but it just took me a bit of time to realise that. So I'm really hardline now.
Pulp, they're obviously enjoying being at the top of the charts again. Now, this week's mouthy moment comes from Blackstreet. Working with Janet has certainly been a real treat for the boys, but that's not surprising, as we discovered when we asked Teddy Riley who he'd like to warm him up on a cold night at last year's MTV Europe Music Awards.
That's wild. I'm about to get my head chopped off. Janet. That was a joke.
So, is he joking or not? Anyway, in more star sex scandal, I've got another little story for you. You know that raunchy home movie that Pamela Anderson and her then-husband Tommy Lee made? Well, apparently American rockers Soul Asylum were shocked to discover that one of their tracks, Misery, was being used as backing music to some of the more raunchy scenes. It probably turned out something like this, though a bit saucier, I'd imagine. Anyway, Soul Asylum are far from happy about the use of their music, and they're even considering legal action.
There's got to be a place where you just had to put your foot down. I mean, it's probably going to be a real hassle, but a point kind of has to be made. You know, it's a violation of our rights, basically. I don't want to score porn movies, you know. It's not my gig.
That's all well and good, but how exactly did the guys discover that their song was being used as background music in the first place? Moving on swiftly, though, if you like your music with a good bit of punk aggression and a large dollop of feedback on top, you're probably a fan of the Jesus and Mary Chain. Coming out of Creation Records in 1984, the band have influenced everyone from Oasis to Nirvana, and back then they even had Bobby Gillespie drumming for them before he went off and formed Primal Scream. Well, now they're back doing what they do best with their new single, Crackin' Up. When the Jesus and Mary Chain burst out of Scotland in the mid-80s, they immediately caused controversy, with their gigs lasting just 15 minutes and leading to riots wherever they played. The band, formed by brothers Jim and William Reid, have been a huge influence on the British alternative scene, and their new single is classic Mary Chain.
Some said I was a freak.
Past couple of years, like William has been, as the song says, cracking up. Relationships that were once there and then not, and then another one and which was off and on and stuff like that. I don't even know if it's on or off at the moment, but mentally it's been a bit of a kind of Vietnam for William over the past couple of years, and that's what that song is about. You get wee guys that run out with like copies of your albums, like when you do gigs and stuff, that seem to sort of gush about like you've changed their lives and stuff. And I think that's great. I mean, that's why we started a band. We didn't want it to be just like entertainment. We wanted it to be that there were lessons to be learned, like, you know, I was saying before, punk rock, anybody can do it. You know, have the guts, don't just like, don't be a spectator, you know what I mean? Like, be a participant, you know?
It'd be kind of silly to think, look, I'm a legend, or I'm in a cool band.
There are times, I must admit, where I sit in my local pub saying, hey, I'm a living legend.
I know, but they usually throw you out and then you go, that's all right, live around the corner.
When I look back, it's like, I mean, it's almost like it's like someone else at the very beginning, you know? I don't recognise me in 1985. It's like some other little bloke that was going through all of that. When you get older, you do get wiser. I think that we make music for the same reasons as that we did then, but I just wish I could go back with a time machine and sort of give that little bloke a good hiding, man, you know. Noise can be beautiful, and noise quite often is, and I think like we've proven that.
Nothing like a good bit of noise to shake you up there. Did you spot Bobby Gillespie at the end shaking his tambourine? Well, there's been some bad news this week for Madonna fans as she's decided not to tour her new album, Ray of Light, even though it outsells her previous albums. She's blaming movie commitments for the tour cancellation plans. But for a while there, old Mads couldn't make up her mind.
Tour? Sure. Last October, when Madonna was midway through recording her Ray of Light album, she was all hot to hit the road in support of it.
It's been a long time since you toured.
Yes,
touring again,
you know
or?
what? I really want to tour with this record because I just love it. It has so much cool energy, and it would be great.
So you're promising a tour, I think, right?
Yeah, the fall.
Yeah.
Of course, there was her commitment to star with Goldie Hawn and Rosie O'Donnell in the film version of the Broadway musical Chicago, but hey, no problem.
Is a Chicago thing coming up soon? Is that your next thing after this?
Hopefully that is my next thing.
That'll be after the tour?
No, it'll be in between. The album coming out and the tour would be in the spring.
This isn't going to, throw the tour off the tracks or anything, is it?
Oh, no.
You're definitely going to tour.
Don't you worry, Kurt.
All right, because that's happened before.
No, please, it'll be so much more money I'll make. I mean, did I say that?
Okay, so 4 months later, Maddie's out in the middle of the Mojave Desert, freezing her butt off, shooting the video for Frozen, and suddenly the idea of a tour is starting to seem, well, problematic.
I've imagined visual elements that I would like to have, but I haven't, put the whole thing together yet. It's going to be a pain in the ass, for sure.
You're still going to do Chicago, right? Is that still on the books?
In the fall, I think. You know what? It's just, I can't see straight. They keep changing the schedule.
Pop stars these days ain't never happy. Well, that's your lot for this half of the show, but hold on, don't go away, because coming up in part 2, I'll be hunting down the Spice Girls in Manchester. We'll have a report from the set of the film on everyone's lips at the moment, Scream 2. And the lovely, lovely Kylie Minogue chats with me about pop stardom.
Why are you calling me?
MTV Select is your show.
I've got a little something for you.
You can send a message.
The sexiest and most handsome man on TV.
Email a request. Thomas.
Could you please take off your shirt?
Fax a question. Can you read this out?
Will you marry me?
And even win a prize.
I want a hat! Do you know you just chose yourself a lucky video?
Join Thomas on Select. On MTV.
That's it, maybe.
It's so hot in here.
Oh, Daddy, give it to me.
Tell me your big train.
Choo-choo. Right there. Pump it to me, big boy.
Oh, baby, I'm a pumper.
Ooh.
Stop! It's got to be like... Get into it. That's right. No! Give me more.
Oh, Mr. Bush.
So nice to see you.
My name is Katana.
I am Katana.
I am advanced technology.
Tremble before my power.
My name is Katana.
I am Katana from Suzuki.
Have you ever felt the power of real passion? These are the songs written with that passion. Songs by artists like Eric Clapton, Texas, In Excess, Tina Turner, and U2. After the massive success of Burning Heart, Insight brings you Burning Heart 2. 60 more original tracks on 4 CDs or cassettes.
So in love with you, and they could never tear us apart. It's the final
shops. You have to order by phone. To get your copy, call now. Insight at Polygram. We know great music when we hear it.
אני מוקפת בעשרות אנשים כל יום, ולפעמים עד השעות הקטנות של הלילה. אני חייבת להיות במיטבי כל הזמן. מאז שגיליתי את דאודורנט 24 שעות של נטורל פורמולה, אני רעננה לאורך כל היום. הוא פשוט עובד כמוני. וכשאני מרגישה טוב, אני נראית טוב.
רעננות והגנה לאורך כל היום. דאודורנט 24 שעות של נטורל פורמולה.
פעם, עד שהייתי מצליחה לסדר את השיער, הייתה כבר נגמרת המסיבה. היום? אין שום סיכוי.
לחות לשיער של נטורל פורמולה. מסדר לך את הראש בשתי שניות.
בלי שטיפה, בלי שטויות.
Hi again, I'm Edith Bowman and you're watching MTV's Weekend Edition. If you've just joined us, where have you been? Well, at least you're here for part 2 and here's what's coming up. We'll be on the set of Scream 2. I'll be reporting on the Spice Girls in Manchester. And every boy's dream as Kylie Minogue reveals all about her new album. But first, news this week. Michael Jackson's had another kid. The latest addition to the Jackson family is his new daughter, Paris Michael Catherine, who's the second child of the self-proclaimed king of pop and Debbie Rowe. Michael, meanwhile, has been busy working on the Jackson 5 reunion album, which currently has a working title of J5. This week also saw the sad deaths of 2 of pop's fraternity. Milli Vanilli star Rob Pilatus was found dead in a Frankfurt hotel room. The star was perhaps most famous for his involvement in the 1989 Grammy scandal, where it was revealed Milli Vanilli didn't actually sing their own songs. It's thought that alcohol and prescription drugs were prime factors in the cause of his death. Later in the week, American country singer Tammy Wynette, famous for such hits as Stand By Your Man and this classic performance with KLF, died in her sleep from a suspected blood clot. Alanis Morissette seems to have let popularity go to her head. She's been trying a bit of acting and decided to start things off with a rather important role. Appearing in the new Kevin Smith film Dogma, Alanis plays none other than God. Nothing like a bit of modesty, eh? And finally, the artist formerly known as Prince has run into a bit of unexpected trouble with an ancient order of the Celtic Druids who have taken him to court, claiming the symbol he uses to signify his name is actually a holy sign and should not be used for commercial purposes. The lawsuit is for an unspecified amount. Now, of course, the Spice Girls made the headlines this week when they called a press conference on Wednesday, and that's when the rumours really started to fly. Was Posh having a baby? Had they been abducted by aliens? Or worse, were they splitting up? I went on a mission to Manchester to find out the truth behind the hype.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Well, we're here at the Spice Girls press conference and everybody's starting to arrive, so I think we're going to find out exactly what all the fuss is about.
Stop right now, thank you very much. I need somebody with a human touch.
Lots of big announcements today.
There's a lot of things that need to be said. A lot. Should we talk about the main thing? I mean, the main thing is
One of the main
we
things.
love the press and the media, and we just wanted to all get together and have a party.
Hooray!
Yeah. We've come to a point now where we just feel that it's time to move on. And so obviously we've done when we're going to be doing at Wembley Arena, which is absolutely fantastic. And that'll be.
And we have now decided to do
Wembley Stadium. Yeah. That's it.
Have you approached anyone yet for supporting?
Well,
No.
people have
No, not
approached
yet.
us. Like, we know Oasis are gagging to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much.
Well, we've just finished the press conference with Spice Girls and I managed to grab them all backstage.
Ah.
Can you tell us, first of all, what this press conference was about? Because there was so much hype about it. There was fans crying outside. There
I know. It's quite mad.
Everything going on.
Well, you know, really, the press conference was this was a big announcement, but the thing was, you know, it was like with the press, it just all got leaked too soon, and then they started making all this hype up, and it was nothing to do
I love
with
it.
it
was just all about our staging dates.
But that's the sad thing. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, there was like fans crying outside the hotel, and that's really sad.
We want people from all over the world to come and see this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a rejoicement of Britain. We're back in Britain, you know, from this world tour. Even if you don't like the Spice Girls, you're going to be entertained and it's going to be fun. Before we go, we want to say a big thank you to you.
Like, we're not splitting up. We're not splitting up.
Okay, and a big thanks to MTV.
Did you see Posh Spice? They say Janet Jackson's been offered a Gossard Bra advert. I reckon she should get one too. Now, be prepared to get very, very scared, as Scream 2 is about to be released on May the 1st. And they're already saying it's going to be the film of the year. So if you like a bit of blood, murder and mayhem, keep watching.
They've always thought of this as a trilogy. They've always said that from the second I read the first one. But you never know. I mean, you didn't know if it was going to do well or not. But I knew that if Wes Craven was going to do it, and David, and now I would definitely.
And so the cast of Scream, the surviving cast that is, has reunited with director Wes Craven for Scream 2.
Hello.
Leading the way once more is Neve Campbell's heroic Sydney, now an indestructible college student.
I think because she had gone through such great trauma in the first film, she's come into a place where she's definitely a lot braver and knows what it is to deal with, I guess, serial killers or people who are after her.
But who is after her? New potential suspects and victims include Rebecca Gayheart, Jada Pinkett, and Jerry Maguire's top jock, Jerry O'Connell.
I'm playing Neve Campbell's boyfriend.
I see.
So we have a lot of kissing scenes, and it's very difficult for me to deal with.
And action. The first film's family atmosphere made cast members eager for number 2, and the fun of scary movie watching isn't lost on them either.
You know, you have 5 girls and 6 or 7 guys, you know, and it's like the thing to do after school. It's like, we're going to see 13th girl, you down? You know, it's like, I don't know, you know, it's like, I gotta be home.
I rented The Omen the other night, and I was so scared. Something about that movie, it actually, like, I was freaking out. And today, Richard, my friend who does my hair, was like going like this, and he didn't know that I watched the movie, and he was like, oh my God, it's so weird. Ew. I went, what? I swear I thought I had 369 in my head.
Scary stuff. Now, if you're a bit of a rap fan, make sure you don't miss the latest output from the Wu-Tang Clan stable. Madonna's been working with the Clan on numerous projects for the last couple of years, and now he's got a solo album called The Pillage. It'll be in the shops on May the 20th, and it describes his experiences of inner city life, such as when police raided his home by mistake.
We had to jump down, take cover, all that. They had flashlights on top of their joints. So, you know, that's pillage right there. That's pillage, kid. It's like, who gave them a key? They ain't had no key or nothing. Knocked the door down, smashed that, smashed everything, you know, had us handcuffed, had my girl handcuffed.
Madonna there with his trusted baseball bat and interesting taste in headgear. Now it's time for something a bit more popular with one of the most popular ladies in music. Yes, the lovely Miss Kylie Minogue. With her self-titled new album, it's taken her further into superstardom. I was lucky enough to catch up with Ms. Minogue and to get all the lowdown on what it's all about.
Well, it'll be the biggest day of my life today if I get to meet Kylie Minogue.
I parachute in today just to get here. Do you know what I mean? It's that big, it's that exciting. I'm terrified I'm going to faint.
Psyching myself up to go.
I didn't know what I would write about, and it ended up being quite like a journal. It's just writing, you know. I'd have a drama and, you know, I'd write it all down and it would be a song the next day. It did end up being very personal and more about emotions and or describing a moment or an experience.
Stuck in my covers for.
But making the album was really quite easy. I mean, it was a roller coaster ride. Sometimes it was a great rush to go into the studio and start with nothing, and within a few hours you've got a song that everyone's mad about.
Now you're seen as this sex symbol. Do you find it difficult or do you relish in it?
Don't think about it too much, I have to say. Get up in the morning. I'm flattered by it. I think it's really, really sweet and nice and kind of funny sometimes. But it's something I do find quite easy. A little pussycat, and you know, can't stop myself. It's dreadful.
What about the new single, Breathe? What's the single all about?
I wrote that in Tokyo, and it sounds like I just have dramas all the time, but it was another drama. And
not a drama.
yeah, me, no. It was again going very much inside myself. So I was just saying to myself to breathe. It won't be long now. Breathe. You'll get there.
Thanks very much, Tom, Tess.
Thanks.
And good luck with the album. And for all you lovers out there, you can catch Kylie on Amore from Tuesday the 14th of April on MTV. Well, that's about your lot for this week, but make sure you tune in next week for all the latest stories and scandals from the world of music and entertainment. But this week I leave you with Kurt Cobain, probably one of the most influential artists of modern day, who tragically took his own life 4 years ago this week. Take care.
At a really early age, I wanted to be a rock and roll star. I wanted to play drums. You know, ever since I got my first Beatles record, I wanted to play drums in a band. I wanted to have the adoration of John Lennon, but have the anonymity of Ringo Starr.
Choking on the ashes of a runaway. In my sun, I feel this warm. In the sun, Mary, 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 yeah, 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 yeah.